How's it going, everyone? WallysOG here, and today you might be wondering why my car's sitting in the pit lane. It's because I like doing pit lane starts sometimes. Welcome to my channel, where I am super into sim racing, and will be for the definitely foreseeable future. We are at WeatherTech, Laguna Seca. And we're starting second to last, obviously, courtesy of the other gentleman that was behind me in the pit lane. And I think, if I'm remembering correctly, we're sitting at a nice, healthy P11 right now, or 12. Something of that nature. Usually the reason why I like doing pit lane starts is to avoid the turn 1 carnage, which... as I'm progressing through my I rating and getting higher and higher up through I rating, I'm actually encountering turn 1 carnage a bit less. That's not to say that means the rest of the race is any good or anything, as the last video would prove to show. But anyway, we've made up a couple positions now. And we're going through basically the pack here. Kind of just settling down. Finished up lap 1 and we're doing some things. Now, I did say in the last video I normally would not want to do a lap guide unless I was in the car, and if I'm remembering correctly, I do this entire lap in the gyro cam. So we'll do kind of a half and half lap guide, unless I didn't actually just keep it in the gyro. I didn't. So maybe we don't do the full lap guide. Basically, I start braking just after the 4 board on the right there, going into the Andretti hairpin. Here, just a quick little 1 pixel brake, or actually even none, dropping it down into either second or keeping it in third. I actually can't remember, and maybe I just actually don't do it since I can't remember super well. And yeah, I think I do a full gyro lap at some point in this one, but we'll do it then. I'm sorry. Okay, but either way, we did a super clean pass there. I don't know if you guys saw it, because I could just completely talked over it, but went down the inside, and basically it's gonna be kind of nothing now for a little bit until we catch up to the rest of the pack. But actually, I think that's second ahead of me. Or is he first? Was it this guy? I think it was this guy. I'm really trying to remember now, because I had to re-record these. Obviously, this is a replay file. I didn't have these live recorded. Sometimes I like doing these more, honestly. Sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. I like this different kind of perspective, but nobody's let me know in the comments yet. And if you're here still and you're enjoying it, I would really appreciate giving me a like if you like it, a dislike if you don't. Either way, no matter what you do, if you leave without saying nothing, I won't know how to get any better. Going straight into the lap guide now. We pretty much already missed the first 2 turns, but just in between the 2 and 1 board, 1 pixel brake, keeping it in second, actually. Here, I just let off the gas. Same kind of area in between the 2 and 1 board. Let off the gas, stay in third. Turn into the turn, and then actually accelerate when you hit the apex. Homie on the left actually brakes just to let me go, which is awesome. Same thing again. Start braking at the 2 board, going into the 1 board, clipping apexes. Here is where I was gaining a lot of time. Just after the 2, get off the gas, turn in, no brake. Not even a 1 pixel. Clip the apex, don't downshift nothing, stay in third, just keep going. Look for the 3 board, just after the 3 board, just over the crest. You can brake probably at the 2. I brake sometimes quite a bit early. Let off the gas just as you see the sausage curb come into view there. Turn in, fully accelerate out. Sometimes I brake here, sometimes I didn't. It depended on the point in the race, but here I did not. And then we come into the hairpin. You start braking just before the 1. Make sure you get in nice and smooth. The green out there on the right side is actually part of the track. It does not give you an off track, so feel free to use it. And that was not my fastest lap of the race. I think my next one, this one is, or one of the faster ones of the race, because I believe this next lap coming up here is a 1:39. But you get the necessary information. You see the main points of where I would go. Some of it may be correct. Some of it may not be correct. Take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt, because obviously I'm not a professional driver. I'm not claiming to be. In fact, I self-deprecate more than anything. I digress. I believe now we are sitting in 4th place position. It was the 2 car actually that was that's currently in front, and the guy that's behind me was number 5. So yeah, we haven't actually seen 1st place yet. So I don't think there was anything else. So I believe we're in 5th right now, which is pretty good progress. Pretty good progress. This is also one of those kinds of demonstrations that just show you, you know, as long as you don't bin it, or as long as you don't like get involved or you know, get into any trouble, you're gonna do well. You know, that's just if you feel like starting from the back or something like that. Because obviously, if you qualify and you're good and you're up there, you know, your only worry is the fewer people that are in front of you. But in this case, I was starting pit lane, and I really wanted to, you know, get in there a bit. And at this point, this was I think this was actually one of my last races during the week before it went to the Season 2, like, fun weeks. And all the races were 5 minutes, but whatchamacallit? Dang, I got distracted. I heard a whistle outside, and now I forgot what I was saying. Oh no. The joys of having ADD and ADHD. Or one of the two. I don't know. Either way, I will still continuously probably do all these videos in one take until otherwise. I definitely think it's better, obviously, to do it another way, but unfortunately, just with time, it's not necessarily a thing at the current moment in time. But yeah. We're progressing very well. I think that's what I was talking about. If you feel like doing pit lane starts, the pros and cons of that one, you can say. Pros is you're not going to get caught up in any lap 1 drama. At least that's kind of the whole point of starting pit lane, depending on the track. This one is super long, so pit lane takes a minute to get around here. Whereas like scuba, you're basically right there on the track. So it's just one of those things, but I also like doing the pit lane starts, just because if I feel like I have conquered the track at a certain point, then, you know, I will do it. And conquer is kind of a light word, or a lighter word in this case. If I feel comfortable on the track, then I'll do it. If I see that some of the races haven't been as bad as other ones or previous ones, then, you know, I'll go for it. I'll see if I can make my way through a pack or do something like that. And partially I think that's where I'm able to overtake a lot. It's weird. There's a lot of times where I'm either too early on the brake or I'm late on the brake, but when it comes to like overtaking, my favorite things to do is just slightly later on the brake. That's like almost all of my overtakes. And to be fair, I mean, obviously I'm saying that's kind of a general thing, that's usually what happens, but I don't get a whole lot of, like, I come out of the exit better than the person in front of me, and then I use the slipstream, and I'm there before the turn or something like that. There's a good amount of times where they're fully ahead of me, sometimes like lengths ahead of me, and they just brake too early, or they don't turn in enough. I can slip up the inside, and believe me, I do. I looked right there for it. And since I applied that pressure, McLaren liveried homie is off. And we gain another position, just like that. I backed out of that move because I was like, no, I'm going to cause a collision if I continue this. And he saw that same thing and he just decided to go. I don't know, because I definitely wasn't anywhere near him, even with the bubble afterwards. But hey, we move up. Yeah, see, there we go. Last lap was a 139. Now I do 140 again, but I can't remember what the actual fastest lap on this one. I think they were in the 137s, 138s. I'd have to go back and double check for the fixed series, but it definitely was it's definitely a fun one, actually. The Miata around like any track is super fun, to be fair. Just the Miata is super fun to drive. If you like chucking things into a corner, and you know, it just so much fun, obviously. Making really steady progress, and as I was talking about, I think I was talking about it in the previous video, or maybe it was still in this one, but consistency. And one of the things that I would say that I feel like I'm pretty decent in with enough practice, you know, anyone can say that they're consistent, but there's definitely been times where I've looked and I'm going back and I'm within like about a tenth of every lap throughout a race, consistently. I did do that on whatchamacallit. I did it at Okayama last season. There was a period where I had like a whole weekend basically, house to myself and everything. And I did like every single race almost in one of the days. I mean, there's an hour in between, or there's like, you know, they split them up to an hour, and those races don't really last that long. But I had every single lap down to the 10th, which I was super proud of myself for. And I can't translate that to every single track or every single race or anything like that. But there's definitely moments where that consistency comes out again, and it's so enjoyable when you can hit it. Just because you can see on the dash again, 139.9. I'm the last 3 laps have all been within 0.2 of each other. It does suck to have like tire deg and everything, but it's definitely a thing in this game. And it's just something that you have to deal with. And even in the fixed series, and even with a car like a Miata, you just wouldn't really think that this is something that's going to be like a tire muncher, you know, but you got to figure out how to drive it somehow, right? So we continue on. Sorry about all the silence. There's some noises outside. I'm just trying to figure out if it's something that I need to go look at or not. We're coming up to the fun parts, though, or the fun-er-ish parts. I believe we have now about a lap or 2 to go. White flag might be coming out here pretty soon, but another thing when it comes to consistency is, in case the person in front of you makes a mistake, you better be consistent enough to catch up to them for every mistake that they make. The perfect example was the last video, and honestly, we can say that I'm the person that spun me out from last video, in the fact that it's just faster than the person that was ahead, and when you keep making mistakes, they catch up. And in this case, I was gaining a tenth or 0.2 every lap on this guy, which isn't a lot, considering that he had like a 2-second lead by the time that I made it to like where I was. And so at this point, I kind of just like, I resigned myself to being okay with second, but obviously you keep up the speed. You keep up as much pressure, you need to be visible in their mirror. That's the only way that you can apply pressure, is just be visible. And I mean, I knew I was gaining. It wasn't a significant amount, but I knew I was gaining. So you have to keep going, and you have to keep going. And at this point now, I'm starting to think, okay, he's getting a bit closer. He's within 1.5 now, I think, for here, but it gets really good in a minute. Coming up to the corkscrew again for, I want to say it's the second to last time. We do see a little bit of a moment from first place, and like I was saying, sometimes all you got to do is be consistent and execute. Now, normally, when I start from pit lane, the last thing I expect to do is win a race. I am right now in first place. And the best part, the best part would have been if that was on the last lap, but it isn't the last lap. But as you look on the right there, you can see that it is the last lap. So now all I have to do is just maintain the same gap that he was maintaining. Because he was on full damage control. At least the guy was only keeping me to gaining 1/10 to 2/10 every other lap. So obviously, you know, he wasn't unskilled. Definitely had some skill, but just like I did last video, he kept making a bunch of little mistakes and then eventually just made one really big mistake. And this is where we're at. And now I have to lead. But I think we're going to end it there. Or at least I'm going to, you know, sign off here after my goodbyes and whatnot. But this is this is actually going to be the final video that I do for season 1 of iRacing. So it's good to end on a win here. I think actually this was one of my last. No, this wasn't one of my last season 1 races, because obviously I'm saying that I've been doing the 5-minute races, which were after this. Either way, enjoy these final moments here. Season 2 videos are coming out next. I might just throw both of these ones out here tonight or tomorrow to get them out, because I want/need them out. And then season 2 videos some of them are already recorded, some races have already been done. All I gotta do is talk over them and continue racing. So yeah, we actually did make it to the end here. So I'll see you guys in the next one. I hope you enjoy it.